Tonight, Utah lawmakers have gathered to kick off this year's general legislative session. We are covering multiple stories from the Capitol. Let's start with Chief Political Correspondent and anchor Glen Mills, who is live at the state Capitol tonight covering the opening happening now. Glen?
Yep, as it is the case every year, a lot of buzz up here, optimism as we kick off the 45-day session. You know, Emily, lawmakers here today have had months, some even a year to prepare for this day. But one lawmaker that we're going to talk to now, his name is Representative Tyler Clancy from Provo, has had 3 days to prepare for the opening day of the legislative session. That's because he was part of a special election to replace outgoing Representative Robertson in Provo. You stepped up, wanted to run. Here we are, opening day. A few days later, what's going through your mind right now?
Well, what's the saying? Out of the fire and into the frying pan?
Yes.
I'm living it. So it's been great, though. And a lot of the more senior legislators have taken me under their wing and helped me kind of get my bearings as much as I can. And so hoping for a smooth transition.
So when that opening came, you heard that Representative Robertson was moving on. What was it about it that made you want to step up and run?
I think there's been so many challenges the past couple years in particular that our families have experienced. Inflation, the COVID crisis, there's so many different things. And so for me, it was kind of came back to that principle of, well, you can't complain about it if you don't do anything to change it. So I looked at my wife and said, let's do it.
Okay, stepped up in a big way. Also, I want to mention you're 25 years old. That is the youngest allowed by law. So a lot of kids your age, men your age at 25, doing different things with their life. What was it about this that attracted you and said, I'm ready for this moment?
Well, I think it goes back to what, a lot of our founding fathers were under 35. And so for me, it's about strengthening those core principles of that government's for everyone. And so for me, I thought, if I believe it, let's give it a shot. And so we did. We knocked on doors and just listened to people about the issues they cared about most. And luckily, we came out on top.
Representing your generation, what will be some of your top priorities working on the Hill?
Yeah. Well, the speaker outlined them perfectly. Stewardship, affordability, and investment. And I think those principles really embody what we need to do to tackle the big problems that are going to be these pervasive 50-year issues. So everything from housing affordability to family budgets to investing in good education policies that lead the way and have Utah lead the way for the 21st century.
And how will your own personal experiences apply to that as you put that to work?
As a police officer, you come in contact with everyone. People that you don't necessarily show up at political meetings or whatever it might be. So making sure that everyone has a voice at the table. And when we're talking about these big issues, we take in all the different perspectives and come out with something that benefits everyone.
I first met you through your work with the Pioneer Park Coalition. Obviously, that focuses around homelessness. How will that experience play a role in your experience up here?
Absolutely. I think with the Pioneer Park Coalition and working in that area of homelessness, talking to people, you learn so much. And that's what a lot of our policies were rooted in, is that human experience. So for me, I want to bring that human element to policy when we're having these discussions and debates on the House floor.
A lot of people, become lethargic when it comes to politics. As you mentioned, you can't complain if you don't get involved. A lot of people choose not to get involved, though. So what would be your message to those who are sitting on the sidelines who may be able to make a difference in the world of politics?
You took the words out of my mouth. You can make a difference. I think we're really intimidated by this idea of running for office and doing the things. But if there's something you believe in, if there's something you're passionate about, go for it. Go sign up, whether it's a special election or running to be a delegate in your community. Just get out there and the connections will flow.
1 day down, 44 more to go. What 44. Are you expecting?
Not expecting anything, because the past couple weeks, if there's anything, that's what I've learned. So just going to take everything as it comes and try and do the best we can for Provo and my constituents and see where the chips fall. All
right. We really appreciate your time tonight, and best of luck. We'll be watching what you do over the next couple of weeks here during the legislative session.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you. Thanks so much. All right, so many issues that lawmakers will be working on over the next 44 days up here on Utah's Capitol Hill: tax cuts, transgender rights, abortion, and many more. ABC4's Anneka Johns catching up with legislative leadership from both sides of the aisle tonight to get more on what they are looking forward to in the coming weeks. Anneka.
Thank you, Glenn. So hot button topics including transgender rights and education are at the forefront of people's minds as the general session begins. Democrat minority leaders in the Senate say one of their priorities is opposing Senate Bill 16. If passed, the law would ban gender-affirming surgeries for transgender minors.
This medical process is keeping many of our youth alive as they have the highest rate of suicide.
When discussing their priorities, the chamber's Republican majority leaders told me that thanks to decreased spending this year, they have money to pass around.
We're in a great spot as a state, and because last year we spent less than we have some money this year.
Senate leadership also told me that right now there is no limit to the ask, and that their job for the next 45 days is to make sure that these additional funds go to the right places. Reporting live from the Utah State Capitol, Anneka Johns, ABC4 News.
Anneka, thank you so much. Yeah, lawmakers will be working to make some really significant changes, things that will impact your life on a daily basis. Now, in addition, we got into the additional money that will be available for lawmakers in the budgeting process, about $3 billion to be exact. So we talked to the director of the Hinckley Institute of Politics, Jason Perry, a little bit about what to expect from lawmakers as they go through that process. He's hopeful the state legislature will spend that money carefully. Perry expects lawmakers to jump right into the biggest issues at the start of the session. He also says abortion access in Utah will be a big topic of conversation now that the Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade.
When the Supreme Court said the decision on abortion is going to be left to the states, our state started looking into it immediately. I think we're going to see a couple different approaches to abortion in the state of Utah, and there will be a bill passed.
Also on the table, record tax cuts aimed at cutting costs for Utah families. The shrinking Great Salt Lake also going to be another big focus as it has hit record lows, as well as several education reform policies up for debate, with Governor Spencer Cox pushing to raise teacher salaries. Now, another familiar debate up on the table this legislative session would be a potential elimination of the sales tax on food. Coming up tonight at 7 on the CW30, we're going to hear from two lawmakers, one a Republican, one a Democrat, both running bills to do just that, and why they are feeling it could go further this time around as it fell short just last year. Live on Utah's Capitol Hill, Glen Mills, ABC4 News.